Greetings, folks. Welcome back to the Jason Damico Show. We are here via Zoom once again, and it's probably going to be like this for a while. And Marty's smirking a little bit because our next guest and I go pretty far back now. And he knows how much I love the Tremendous 12 at Perky.
Yes, I love that.
This guy is an incredible media content producer. He's a writer, editor, and really good friend of mine. Please welcome to the show my good friend, Mr. Ryan Bolger.
Thank you for having me, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, dude. We were talking and catching up a little bit before we went on the air, and crazy times.
Yeah, it really is, man. You can't make this stuff up.
Can't make it up.
Yeah, you can't write this. You really can't write this.
And it's crazy because, like, when Walking Dead came out, it kind of made you think, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's obviously not comparable. Like, to try and compare that it's hopefully not distasteful, but I mean, it makes you think. It just kind of makes you think.
Yeah, there's so many different things. Like 28 days later, 28 weeks later, there's a video game like The Last of Us. It makes me kind of think about like what's going on right now. It's crazy. I mean, it's close, but thankfully it's not that close.
So you're still able to do certain work remotely then?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I was still kind of going through training once everything happened. So a lot of the stuff I've been doing just like freelance and kind of just messing around on my own.
Well, let's get into your beginning stages then real quick, and we'll kind of work our way to now. I know your story to a certain degree. I'm sure I'm going to learn some more details here.
Yeah, of course.
On the interview. But you always were fascinated with film and
always
wanted to start actually out as an actor.
Yeah.
But even before that, like how did that process happen for you? Did you grow up in an artistic family, or was it more?
Not at all. That's the funny thing. I didn't grow up in an artistic family at all. I felt like it was always, I mean, I had a close family member who was I'm wrong. I had one close family member who was really into the arts and everything like that. And he always pushed me to want to be an actor. He was like, you're going to be so good. You can really sell yourself. You have to look as like, this was when I was like, probably like 10 years old. He's like, you got the little boy look. Like, it's perfect. And I'm just like, I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And, ever since then, I never really like pushed for it as much as I kind of wanted to until I turned about 19. That's when I went to school at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Right.
And it was cool because I auditioned and they had the whole like camera set up, like the studio and everything. It was really legit and awesome. And I like fell in love with it instantly. And wanting to be an actor, being put in front of the camera and just reading the script off the teleprompter was just, it was so cool. It was one of the coolest things. And like, that's when it clicked for me right there. I'm like, this is where I want to go. Right. And yeah, so then going through the whole like school curriculum and everything like that, I've learned things from in front of the camera, behind the camera, like video production, like audio production, like sports writing and like broadcast journalism, all that stuff. And one thing that really took a grasp on me because of the creative aspect of it was the video production end of everything. It was cool because I got this one project and you had to put together a 60-second newscast and make up like whatever story you want. And they put you in front of the green screen. You have your little like visual effects over here and stuff like that. And ever since then, I mean, I kicked ass on that project. That project was I still have the project on my flash drive, and
I gotta see that, man. That'll be fun.
Yeah. No, I'll send it to you. It's really sweet. I checked it out like a month ago. But yeah, man. Ever since then, I was just like, all right, this is the path I want to go. And as I got older, this was about when I was like 19 or 20-ish before I turned 21. Mm-hmm. That's when I was like, you know what, like this is really cool, and I really want to like. I had the idea and like the like visualizing everything, just like branching out, just like doing all the like it's such a big industry. Obviously, you know that it's crazy. It's such a big industry. There's so many different things that you can do. That's why, now I'm 25, and like fast forward to now, I'm a producer at Channel 13, and it's, I mean, definitely something very different. Never worked for a major network before, so that's pretty exciting. But it's cool, man. Yeah, going back to what I was saying, just like trying all these different things, like while I'm young, so you can really get the taste and just see what you love the most, and then kind of just go from there. So then kind of going back to what I was saying, like back to like when I was like 21, like 2021, I got this internship at a local production company. I'm not gonna mention any names for
sure.
You never know, but you never.
I feel like I've heard this story before,
Oh,
so that's why I'm cracking up.
You've heard it a few times. Yeah, you definitely heard it a few times. But it's crazy because like starting working for this company, they shot this film, and fortunately I can't give the name of the film either. But it was a really good film, and I fell in love with the like the footage and everything that they shot, like their shots and everything like that, and the story especially. And they wanted me to be they wanted me to edit it, do the production on it. And it's funny because they were promised me all this money, and they didn't pay me anything. Right. And that like 2 years later I was, and it's funny because this happened when, in like 2015, 2014, and they shot the movie back in 2011. And then when I left back in 2016, 2017 maybe, the film was still never released, and fast forward to now, it's never been released. It just wasn't really a good company to work for, and I found that out the hard way by obviously trusting people that you really shouldn't trust. So yeah, and actually I kind of left the industry for a little while, and I got into sales. It's really interesting. It's such a different.
I remember that, dude. That was a crazy time for you because you were like commuting a stupid amount.
Oh my God.
That was back in our poker days, man.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned poker. We'll get to that.
And I lost so much money at your house.
Hey man, I have to. That's so funny.
Great times though, man. Great times. Like it was just such great memories.
Yeah, those were great. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about poker in a little bit.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was doing the whole sales thing for a while. Before I even started doing that commute, I got my New York State insurance license, and I started working at Aflac. And I was going like door to door, business to business, like cold calling all these different companies. And I started doing I was doing pretty good. I was getting in such a short time, I got a few different accounts. Accounts. I mean, in your first year, you're only supposed to get a certain amount. So I was kind of ahead of the game, but I was like, you know what? Not really loving this. I am getting a better job offer down in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. And that was to do the marketing that I was doing, the crazy commuting. Oh my God, that was
insane.
Was
nuts, man.
That was the worst thing in the world, because let me tell you my schedule. So I would work Monday to Saturday. Okay, so Monday through Friday, about 7:30, and I would get to the office at 7:30.
Oh my
so I would have
God.
to wait. Yeah, so living an hour from New Jersey, I would have to wake up at 5:30, and yeah, and sometimes I wouldn't get home till 9, 10 o'clock at night, and crazy. And that would be Monday through Friday. And Saturday, you would have to go into work, but you would work from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I mean, it was 80 hours a week, and I did that for about a year, and that was. Oh my God, that was crazy. That was crazy. I mean, it was cool. The concept of the business is so cool, but it's literally the most draining thing you could ever do.
Right.
Because we would literally go to all these different areas out around the New Jersey area, whether it was the city, whether it was Long Island, whether it was upstate New York, Westchester, Rockland, you name it. We went everywhere. South Jersey, we went everywhere. It would total out to me driving at least 4 hours a day commuting, and about I would say probably 20, 24 hours a week just driving. So I would spend one day out of the whole week just driving.
Oh my God, man.
Oh my God. So yeah, that cost me pretty good. Would have to do a couple of Red Bull chugs to yeah, to
You
keep
you were
myself alive.
working that job, right? When we were doing that poker stint.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it would get to a point where the poker stint kind of fizzled out a little bit because my hours were just crazy, and we would always plan whatever it was, Monday night or Tuesday night or whatever the night was. And sometime on those nights I wouldn't get home till like 9 or 10 o'clock. And then everybody started doing their own thing. I mean, the Beebs do their own thing now. I mean, my brother has his family, so he can't play as much as he wanted to, but we actually have been talking the past maybe 2 days about getting a little group together to do it online. Like do it through Zoom, and it's and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to tell you we might play tonight. we might play tonight if you want to play.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, no,
I might. What time?
I think 8 o'clock, but we have to see about getting a few people. We're using this app that I've never used before. I guess it's everybody logs in and they join.
It's all virtual, right?
It's all virtual. So everybody can be on this table. You can see everybody kind of around this table. Wow. And whatever the buy-in is, $10, $20 or whatever, you would Venmo whoever the table leader is. Right. And at the end of the night, when you cash out, you just get your money sent right back to you. So there's no chips.
That's hilarious, man. No, listen, if I can't do it tonight,
we'll do it at some point.
Yeah, definitely later on.
Our old group back together, that'd be freaking sweet.
Dude, that was a riot, man. That was crazy. I mean, we used to, what was it, 13 people sometimes at one table?
Oh my God.
That was nuts.
We played with that a few times.
2 decks, right?
Yeah, we would have 2 games going and everybody kind of sitting at one table. It was a fucking madhouse. It was a madhouse. But I feel like the best table size for me is 8 people. I mean, when we would play kind of towards the end, we would make sure because that gives everybody a fair chance of winning.
Right.
If you have 13 people, the odds are kind of stacked across the board. You don't know what's going to happen. With 8 people, I mean, everybody has a fair chance of winning.
You remember Sean, right?
Oh my God. Yes, I remember Sean.
So the crazy thing is Sean and I ended up being Gold's gym guys after because we both were working out at Gold's. I was always there at night. He was there in the morning because of his military schedule at the time. Yeah. And it was because after we played a bunch of rounds at your house, after doing that for months, we ran into each other one time at Gold's. It's oh wait, you go here? and then we just started working out together. It's just hilarious, man.
That's so funny. Oh my God, that was the funniest poker rivalry between the two of you because he was such a ball buster, and I feel like he would kind of try to get under everybody's skin a little bit.
We
kind of antagonist of the group.
The first couple of weeks he was busting me a little bit, and then we just bonded though.
Yeah,
we became really good friends. One of those guys that kind of got under your skin, and then something just clicks later on, and you get along really well.
Yeah, they're not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I saw him maybe over the summer, but since then I haven't seen him in a long time. I haven't even reached out to him about this poker thing. Maybe I should. I don't even have his number or anything. Well,
I think I still have his number. I don't know if he's still on Instagram.
Yeah, but he has a kid now. I know he has a kid now, which is crazy.
Dude, it's so freaking crazy. When you think about this, because this was 4 years ago, 5 years ago now.
Yeah. Yeah,
we had insane.
Because you're 20. You're 25, right?
I'm 26 now.
Oh, you're 26 now.
Yeah, I'm a January baby.
Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, so I turn 26 next month. So we were both around 21, 22 when I think this was when this was going down.
I just can't believe how fast time flies. That's just
I know, man. So many different things. Doing so many different things. It's crazy. Well, but how's the music going right now?
Well, it's going as much as it can. It's going in the studio.
Yeah. So you're writing consistently and stuff like that.
Yeah. I was actually editing a music video today, which is nice. It's been so much podcast. The schedule has been so podcast oriented that within the last couple of days, I've been able to spend some time with the music. Dude, I've got so much music. I don't even know how I'm going to get it recorded. I don't know how I'm going to have time to get all this stuff done.
Yeah.
The lack of content is not the problem. It's just the time. So it's a little bit of
It's the
time
time.
management. But I'm having fun with the podcast, and that's where, like we were talking about earlier, getting great people on like yourself, and just it boosts the morale right now.
Yeah, no, of course. It's definitely awesome. Definitely a good way to kind of get your name out there and just pick people's brains who are obviously in the industry as well, who've been in maybe even a little bit longer than us, So it's definitely, it's definitely really cool.
And I mean, to answer a little bit more direct, just like anybody else, I mean, I had great tour dates, March, April, they're all canceled or rescheduled, and the rescheduled dates may not even happen because now this thing is just, turning into a real situation.
Because
it's a great opportunity. I mean, it's hard for me and a lot of other guys that really love playing live. Like if you're in that rock blues genre, just sweating your ass off, being in those, whether it's a larger venue or a smaller club, like just that, having that part of your routine, like it's, you miss it.
Yeah, of course you miss it. You just want to get out there and just play your head off. It's crazy because I think the last time I saw you, you were going to I think you were up here for maybe about a few weeks or so. You were going to a different gig every single night, all over like New Jersey, upstate.
And I was talking with somebody else about this. Couldn't even tell you who it was because we shot so many of these in the last few days. I remember having this conversation. Don't know who it was with.
That's funny.
It was funny how that period of time, right? Whatever, November, December, where I was just going nuts and playing out literally every night for 3 or 4 weeks in a row up in New York. It's a good thing I did because those were some of the last shows that I did at that point. I did a couple of things in January. I did a couple of shows down here in December when I got back.
Mm-hmm.
Whole reason why I was up in New York was because I was on set. So, when I was off from that job, there were a couple of family things going on at the time, and we just decided to stay up in New York for a little bit. And I just took advantage of, I was like, yeah, let me go hit literally every open mic for 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm glad I did because those are some of the last shows or playing live opportunities, that I had for now.
That's great. That's crazy. And I'm sure you met a lot of people when you were doing that too. You probably know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's definitely really important.
Yeah. So, it's, who knows how long this is going to go for.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Okay, so you can never trust, what you hear on the news. You never know. Cause I feel like sometimes they overstate it and then they're able to kind of cover it up and be like, oh, this is however many that has happened recently. But I'm thinking as the summer goes on, it's going to kind of fizzle out a little bit. Then I think once the fall comes around, I think there's going to be a second spike of it. But I'm hearing a lot of, sorry.
Go ahead, man.
I hear a lot of stuff a lot of different places are going to be opening up, even around here within the next few weeks or so. And they've been opening up golf courses, which is
right,
which I think is pretty crazy. But yeah, man, it's crazy.
The other thing that I was going to say is I heard this from a couple of sources. With everybody locked in, that kind of lowers the immune system. So, there might be shit flying around that's not even COVID.
Of course.
And you're going to be, and I don't want to speak this into the atmosphere, but it's just microbiology 101. Your immune system is lowered because we're not in constant contact with everybody.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
It's really crazy, man. And this is also something that's been around for a little while.
Yeah, since the 70s.
Yeah, it hasn't been anything as crazy as this. I mean, you got the flu, you have pneumonia or stuff like that, but it's I feel nowadays you get sick, everybody points to the COVID or you should get tested, this, that. this, that, or whatever. And I have asthma myself. I have asthma, and it latches up, like, it's like worse for people who have asthma. So it's like, I've definitely been extra careful with that.
Yeah, and I have the same. I don't have asthma, but I can get the asthmatic symptoms when I get a respiratory bug.
Gotcha.
Like it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
you know how it is. Like you'll get something, and it'll last for 6 weeks. It won't.
Yeah, it's like
it
a
won't be.
bronchitis kind of.
Yeah, and it takes freaking forever to get rid of. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's like at that point, the freaking inhaler doesn't even help you.
No, dude, I actually tell me if you agree with me. I actually think at a certain point, albuterol, it starts making you worse. If you take it like it's like it gets to a point where you have to like take it, and then once it stops working, stop using it.
So what I've noticed, because I've had asthma, like bad asthma, my entire life. So I go through different phases, like over the seasons or whatever. Like towards like the winter time, like my allergies aren't so bad, but like as like this time starts around, when everything's like starting to bloom, this is like the worst time of year. So it's like I'm always like using the inhaler, and if you use it a lot, it's not as like potent for you as it is if you're like taking like a hit here every like week
Right.
or like 2 weeks, or I mean, it's really only for rescue, so you really have to take it as little as possible. But yeah, I've noticed the more you take it, the less it helps you. So you really have to. I've been over the last like maybe like 2 years or so, I've been like really good about the inhaler. Like I only use it like when I like really need to. I mean, when I was younger, I needed that thing all the time.
Yeah.
It was always like I would literally sleep with it in my bed, and I would like freak out if I lost it. I always have it on me. I mean, just in case, you never know.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I said, those respiratory bugs, you know, when I get them, sometimes it's like, it's just ridiculous.
They don't go away.
It's just ridiculous how long it takes for it to get out. Because I think it's not even just the bug at that point. It's because there's so much irritation.
Yeah.
And then every time you cough, you're just adding more irritation, and it just keeps like compounding and compounding and compounding.
Of course. And then every time you cough, it hurts like a you know what. So it's crazy.
Dude, it's insane. And I was like, dude, I was doing podcasts like that in January. I don't know if it was COVID, who knows like what it was. But I had something like in January, and it was the same thing. Like it lasted for 6 weeks, and it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that because you probably did have it. My sister had something similar around that time too, and this was like kind of before everything.
And I was in New York City, so you know, who knows?
Definitely would make sense.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and I don't know, man. Like, because the allergies kick in because everything blooms down here sooner.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, in February and March, there's crap blooming here. It's like, what in the world is going on?
You probably have some nice weather down there today, huh?
Yeah, it's actually like last time I checked, it was 70.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's like 50 up here. Yesterday it was like really nice. It was like 60, and we had a day like I think a few days ago that was 70. I was like, wow, man, that's that's really nice.
We had a lady on from California, really great blues singer, and it's 95 in LA right now.
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's funny. I have like my entire family lives out in Arizona, and
right.
I was checking the weather today or something like that. It's like 105, 106. And, oh my God, that's that dry heat, man. That's crazy.
Well, and speaking of Arizona, you were doing some work out there at one point.
Yeah, at one point I was. It was kind of, I mean, it was short-lived. It definitely wasn't everything I hoped it would be.
That, dude, you and the commutes, because you were like flying out there for that.
Yeah, that was, whew. That I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I stopped that real quick.
Let's talk about a little bit of your creative process as far as editing, perhaps, and maybe even writing. You know, script writing.
Okay.
And even producing, because I think a lot of people, you know, from producer to producer here, dude, it'll whip your brain. Like there's things that just you've got to keep pondering on over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, constant second guessing yourself. Like, will this work? Will this not work? I mean, as far as like my creative process, it's, I mean, like when it comes to like my writing, I try to make everything like personal. Like try to like think back to a time where like I can like relate to like what I'm writing about. So it kind of just makes like the pen's talking for me at that point, or like my fingers are doing the work for me. But it's crazy. It's just trying to make it personal and like trying to like put myself in like and like visualize like everything that I like want to kind of address and like get out and like talk about and stuff like that. So it's just making it personal.
What would you say is the most difficult aspect of production? And it can be personally or just like in general from your experience. I'm kind of curious to see your angle on that.
Well, in my opinion, I mean, it could be different for everybody else. It's kind of like where to start, like the angle and everything like that, and like how you want to approach the shots and like what shots you want to use, like what you want to cut out and stuff like that. So it's like the toughest process for me, I feel like, is definitely the very beginning, and then I feel like once I kind of have a nice like template of something that I feel comfortable with, that I feel like good with, that I can run with, then it's just like, okay, I got this from here. It's definitely the beginning. I mean, it could be different for everybody else. Some people know what they want to start with, but they kind of get like a block at some point in the middle, like towards the end or whatever. But
right.
Yeah, maybe I'm kind of opposite in that way.
How about editing for you? It's kind of funny because it's been a while since I've edited a music video. It's been a few months actually, since 2019, I want to say.
Gotcha.
Editing every day with podcast stuff and just trimming things up, but nothing really crazy creative. So going back to it, I filmed some stuff. I don't even know if I'm going to release this video. It's kind of off the wall, which is great.
That's great.
You know,
I love off the
shot it in 2 hours, and it's a total joke, and that's the whole point.
I'm sure it's awesome.
And it's strange. Like, I don't know how does it work for you? Because for me personally, I'll know the shots that I want, but man, once you get in the editing room, things just change.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm a little different. If I'm shooting something and I like really like visualize it like the way I'm shooting it, then I'm like, okay, this is how I'm definitely using this cut for and running with this as my template. But I mean, you definitely could run into some points where it's like, this looks a little bit better for this sequence as far as what you're going with. So I mean, it definitely varies, man. It definitely varies.
You find that you'll shoot a bunch of takes, and I always see this, especially with like music videos. Like, there's certain takes that just dominate a majority of the piece.
Oh, of course.
And there's stuff that you just don't even use. It's like, it's weird. Like, the stuff that you think is really going to work, you end up like not using, and the stuff that was just like, oh, whatever, it ends up like dominate. It's really weird how that happens.
It's funny because once you see how something looks and it's like, wow, that looks really cool, and you didn't expect it to look like that.
Right.
That's the best. That's the best when that happens.
What are you usually editing on?
Well, when I do it like for myself personally, I'll either do Premiere or Final Cut Pro. Yeah. But when I'm down in the city, gonna be using Avid.
Yeah. That's got to be interesting.
Yeah, Avid's interesting. But I feel like once you know like one of them, you kind of have a gist of all of them. It's just kind of little tweaks that you'll kind of learn. And when I learn a different software or whatever, it's kind of, I just play around with it and just like throw a bunch of different things together and just see what happens. Yeah, of course, just see what happens. And then you kind of get a little more familiar with it. And I feel like as an editor, it's kind of good to, well, obviously, it's good to know as many different things as possible, because you never know who's going to be using what. And it's funny because when I was doing the commercials, I can't even remember the name of the software, but it was a software that I've never even like heard of before. But it was crazy. And that was it was like a stupid easy software. Like anybody can do it.
Right.
That's how
right.
that's kind of how I feel like Premiere is. Yeah,
Premiere.
I feel like,
yeah, Premiere has been my go-to. I started on it, and it's there's a couple of things in there that really irritate the hell out of me. But 90 something percent of it is just, it's great.
yeah, no, it's definitely great, and it really kind of, I feel like if you're like new and starting out, that's definitely the perfect software to learn on, because it really kind of walks you through like your first like few videos and stuff like that, which is so cool. Which is so cool for sure. Yeah, but definitely Premiere is my go-to as well. I mean, I definitely like Premiere a little more than Final Cut. I feel like I can have a little more fun on Final Cut. Like, I feel like I get a little more adventurous. I don't know why, but I feel like Final Cut may be a little more precise, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, they're both good. I mean, as long as you get your point across. I mean, it's anything you do that's good.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, so tying that into film, and I think you'll agree with me. I mean, dude, there's so many great things we could talk about.
Yeah, of course.
I'll kind of steer us towards this direction. I mean, so many films, editing is like half of it. And that's not taking away from the performances, because the script and the performance is, you don't have that, it's game over.
Oh yeah, of course.
But you know those movies that just like the editing and the choices, or perhaps the lack of editing on for purpose, like, man,
it
so
can either make or
impactful.
break. Yeah, it really is. It really is. And it's crazy, because you can really see in like certain angles just how something pops on screen so much differently than in a different way. It's crazy. And I feel like you don't like actually understand that or know that until you actually like shoot and see this for yourself, because it's crazy. You see things pop and it's just like, wow.
What's your go-to it's like, this is a really vanilla question, but like, what's your go-to lens for you? Let's say just in the film world, like if you had to pick one or two lenses that you could only shoot with.
That's tough.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can answer that. That's really tough. That's really tough. I don't know.
So for me, I would it'd probably be a 50. A 50 and a I don't know, like a 24 maybe.
Okay, yeah. I see that. Okay. I like that. That's good. That's good. It's hard for me to choose. I definitely like shooting it, and I would probably go 50 more than 24 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, if I had to pick between the two, definitely a 50.
Yeah, of course.
Those 50s are crazy. I mean, they'll make you work. But
yeah, oh yeah.
Dude, they're great though.
Yeah, they really are, man. But it's crazy, man. So what else have you been doing? Like, obviously as much as you can be doing behind down in North Carolina and
I mean,
house, whatever.
You know, you know what I've been doing? And the gyms are closed, so that's a whole other thing.
Oh,
but
man,
we got some weights here, and we've got the Netflix and the Hulu subscriptions. So I've recently gotten into Hell's Kitchen? No, Kitchen Nightmare. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah, and it is volatile.
Yeah, of course. It definitely he's a volatile man, that's for sure. He's crazy. He's crazy.
He's a genius. He's crazy.
Yeah. He's crazy.
He's definitely a genius, man. I mean, like, you could tell. It's strange because, like, as much as he's just like viping at somebody, you could tell he just it's passion. He just cares, man.
Yeah. he cares a lot. He's definitely damn good at what he does. That's crazy. But what do you watch it on? What streaming service is that on?
I think it's on Hulu. That one.
Oh, it's on Hulu. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I actually, obviously, since this whole thing, I've been watching a lot of and catching up on a lot of different TV shows. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad? Like when
Oh
that
yeah,
first?
oh yeah, man. Like in
Are,
the early days.
oh yeah, of course. Are you into Saul now? Are you in a Better Call Saul?
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the next round of episodes. I mean that show is incredible as well.
Did you watch the past season?
4?
Season 5? No, season 5, dude. Season 5. Yeah, man.
Wait. So I don't want like no spoiler alerts. Where I left off was when, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the house burns down. Is that?
Oh, dude. No, there's another season.
No. When did it come out?
It came out like maybe 3 months ago.
Are
The
you serious,
finale,
man?
yeah, the finale aired like 2 weeks ago on Monday.
Dude,
oh my
what in
God,
the world? Is that on Netflix?
I don't know if the 5th season's on Netflix yet, but I mean, I don't know what cable provider you have, but I mean, I was able to watch it through because I have the Spectrum mobile thing, and I was able to kind of go through and watch all the episodes because I was kind of I kind of went late too, because I watched the first 3 episodes live, and then I didn't see a few episodes after that, and then I was able to get into this, and I was able to binge the episodes all the way up to season 10 live, and it was just, oh my God.
I did
Crazy.
The first season whenever the first season was released on Netflix, like from the beginning, which
that must have been like 2009, something like that. 2009,
Better Call
maybe.
Saul.
Oh no, Breaking Bad. That's Breaking Bad. Never mind. So the first season of Saul was probably released in 16, I would say.
Right. And
yeah, it was probably 16.
I've seen all Breaking Bad, but Better Call Saul was when the house burned down, which I think is the end of season 4.
Yeah.
That's where I left off, and that because season 5 wasn't showing up on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And this was a couple of months ago.
I mean, I haven't checked to see if it popped up on Netflix yet. I mean, the season ended, so I mean, it would make sense for them to put it on as like quickly as possible.
Right.
Yeah, but check that out, man.
I gotta see if I can dig that up on, because we've got Spectrum too.
Yes, you can probably go through and just.
We're doing the Rokus now. We don't have the boxes anymore.
Yeah, no, we're same thing. Same thing with me. I just use my Spectrum streaming thing.
Right.
Yeah, and I just got a smart TV recently, and I actually rewatched the finale, because the finale of the finale of the season is, oh my God, so good.
Is the show done at 5, or is
no? There's another season. They're in the middle of writing it right now. Like Vince Gilligan and those guys, they're in the middle of writing it right now.
Did you see Mad Men?
No, but I heard that's really good.
You got to see it. Like, because somebody told me about it last year, and I kind of binged through. Like, the only time I really have to watch stuff is like if I'm going through guitar scales late at night, or if I'm working out here. And the oh my God, it's just, you can't. I think there's maybe 3. There might be 3 things that are off in the entire series from a cinematic standpoint. The thing is flawless. Like, from a blocking standpoint, there's only 2 or 3 things that I found continuity-wise that were just off. And besides that, like, the characters, the acting, the choices, the script, it's a very easy. It could have been a very complicated presentation, but the way they chose it was to present it was just it was such a great choice.
Yeah, no, I've heard great. Yeah, I've heard great things about that. I'll definitely have to check that out. What service is that on? Is it on like Netflix or something?
I think that's Netflix.
That's Netflix. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you know what else I watched recently that was really good? I'm definitely late on this. Really late on this. Bates Motel on Netflix. Have you seen that?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it.
The acting in that show was honestly some of the best acting in TV. It was so good. The kid that plays in The Good Doctor is Norman Bates on Bates Motel, and he's incredible. He's such a good young actor. It's insane.
What do you think are your favorite shows? I mean, films too, but like just kind of like those just like
All right,
knockouts.
I'll give you five. I'll give you my top five favorite shows. So this actually changed recently. So for the last like maybe a few years, I would say Game of Thrones was my favorite TV show of all time. But the last season, people hate on the last season, even though they could have done way better with it. They even could have trimmed it down to like maybe even like a longer seventh season as opposed to putting 6 episodes in the 8th season.
Right.
I mean, they definitely could have done better with that, but Game of Thrones was my first favorite show for a long time. But I also recently watched a few months ago Sons of Anarchy. And
man.
That's probably my favorite show of all time.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. Just the story and everything, like just all the different things that you wouldn't expect to happen happened. And it's like
that's a crazy show, man. It's been like 3-4 years since I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a damn episode since then.
Yeah.
And it was I don't know, like it's really good. It just never would. I don't know. It just, to me, like after seeing Breaking Bad, man, you're ruined. Like,
I
you know what I mean?
Breaking Bad's right there too, man.
But I'm cutting you off because you still have more.
Oh no, you're good. I was gonna say Breaking Bad next.
Yeah.
Actually, okay. So I would say Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul are pretty tied.
Oh yeah, dude.
And I think after the 6th season of Better Call Saul, it's gonna be better, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, dude. You'll honestly, the 5th season just blew me away.
Do you think the acting is just a smidge better in Better Call Saul?
Yeah, yes, I do. I do actually.
And I'm not taking anything away from Cranston.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying,
Bob
like,
Odenkirk,
on as a whole.
Yeah, because they have such a good support cast. Like the guy that plays Gus Fring, he's awesome. The guy that plays Mike is unbelievable. Even the woman that plays Kim, it has won like a few Emmys. Yeah, she's unbelievable. That's why you really need to watch the 5th season because she'll blow you away. It's like, wow.
Yeah, because she starts again, like not to do any spoilers, but I love when you start seeing like that one scene where they do that kind of whatever like questionable thing legally, which there's a lot of questionable legal things that happen in that show.
But I know what you're talking about.
But you know what I'm talking about, where you see the shift in her with Jimmy, and she's like, let's do it again. Like that one line, I was like, bro.
Yeah, because she was such a straight arrow person for such a long point of the show, and then when she kind of twists up her character a little bit, it's like, wow. And I think that's what's going to help her get like more recognition, because how she was just able to turn like that, and just everybody loves her. Everybody loves her.
She is pepper.
Yeah.
And she's so damn attractive. Like in the way that she is, like
such a classy way. Such a classy, elegant way. I see that. I see that. I definitely see that. But it's funny because her acting, I mean, I kind of compare it to Skylar's acting in Breaking Bad, because obviously she kind of does the whole like switch, and like there's a few seasons where she like obviously hates Walt and whatever, and it's just she's so silent and just cold, and just how she delivers it on screen is just like it's unbelievable. And like how she kind of turned into that character towards the end, it's it's similar, but it's different at the same time how Kim did as well. But honestly, I love Kim. Kim's awesome.
Kim is amazing.
Yeah, I wish I knew
Kim
her
is
real name.
Incredible.
I wish I knew her real. I think it's Rhea something. Something. I don't know what her last name is.
I followed her on Instagram recently, like after because I didn't know who she was, because she was in Breaking.
I've never seen her.
Well, she was in Breaking Bad, right?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought she was like as Kim, but I guess Kim didn't exist at that point.
And that's where it gets like crazy when like, because obviously you know who's there and who's not there, and like seeing all these different characters in Saul that aren't in Breaking Bad,
Right.
and it's like, wow, what happens to them? What happens to them? What happens to them?
Yeah.
Crazy. And I loved how in like the first part of in the first few seasons of Better Call Saul, the guy that plays Hector Salamanca in the wheelchair, like how he got into the wheelchair. Oh my God, dude.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, watch it. You definitely should. You definitely should watch the 5th season.
I was gonna. The other thing, and I was just thinking about this the other day. The scene where, what is it with? I just was thinking about it. When Jimmy's in front of the board, and he's not giving it away to people who haven't seen it, but basically, like, there's that conversation because he's trying to get he's trying to get back on the bar.
Yeah.
And he's doing his routine. I think it was actually at the table with the 3 lawyers who are on their, like, the council or the panel that are hearing him. And I've never seen anything the way Vince can. He just, like, oh my God, like the I don't even know how to explain this, and hopefully it'll make sense. He does things very predictably in an unpredictable way. Like,
Of course.
he knows the psychology of the audience so well, because I'm watching that scene and I'm going, why is he not talking about his brother? And immediately at the end, like, that's the reason why he doesn't get on.
Yeah.
But it's so subtle, but it's on a level of like, dude, because we're talking like 4 seasons at this point with that build up and build up and build up. And it's like, how do I even remember that his brother was the reason why he wanted to get into law? Why do I remember that? And then it's like, how do I know that's how well you know the characters? You know?
Yeah,
and
it's
just,
true.
On a subconscious level, it was really, I've never seen that before in a show.
Yeah, that was a good scene. That was a.
Were you thinking the same thing? Like, why is he not bringing?
I was, because, and then when he mentioned, it's just like, wow, there it is, right there.
There it is, and it's like, and I think Kim is the one that brings it up.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. Yeah, I think so.
Or the one of the ladies on the panel.
It might have been. That might be a small part of it that I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But anyway, it just like pops off. Like, it's just, I've never seen anything like that before.
It's so good. Vince Gilligan, man, the man's a genius.
Top notch.
And it's crazy because I was like reading up on like the beginning stages of like Breaking Bad, right? And like he was pitching the show to all these different networks that wanted nothing to do with them. Yeah. I think first he might have went to like FX first, or he went to HBO, and HBO ended up going with a different show. I forgot what show they went with, but obviously Breaking Bad's arguably one of the best TV shows of all time.
100%.
And it's just so crazy just how nobody wanted anything to do with Vince Gilligan and the writing and everything like that. And just look what it blossomed into. It literally made so many different like careers.
Well, so many different AMC is, to me, the best out of all of them.
AMC is awesome. Yeah.
I think it may, and people can talk whatever they want to talk in the comment section, but dude, I think they totally floor HBO.
Yeah,
in so many ways.
I think so too. HBO's come out with some pretty good shows recently, but they've also come out with. Have you heard of The Outsider with Jason Bateman?
I have.
So have you watched it? Because I don't want to like.
No, I've seen it. I've seen it on the Netflix, scroll.
Yeah. So it starts out like really good, and then it just kind of like. It just as soon as like it got to the finale, I wasn't even excited to watch the finale. I was just like, all right, I'll watch it. Maybe something crazy will happen. I was like, oh, that's it.
I've got another one for you, and I wonder if it's on your list. It's an AMC, Hell on Wheels.
No, I've never seen Hell on Wheels.
Oh, dude.
I've never seen that.
Oh my God,
Who's
man.
in it? Who's in it?
Well, Anson Mount is the leading man. And coincidentally, I actually was in a movie with him when I was a teenager, and I didn't realize it until after he was in Hell on Wheels. And I was like, oh, dude, that's crazy. Like, wait, what?
That's awesome.
And I remember I was actually on set in that same scene with him. Well, not the same. It's like the scene before, but they were shooting it because it was the same location. And I remember that scene because he's like screaming, like throwing a table.
Yeah.
And, when you're on set, like they're doing it for like 5 hours and everybody's like cracking up.
It's funny.
My scene was in the pool at the motel. They were in the motel room and they were shooting on location that night. It was like an overnight shoot. And I had no idea that was him until like 12 years later. I didn't know who the guy was. And then it was like, he was in Hell on Wheels.
And then you see him on TV. It's like,
I was like, who's this actor on Hell on Wheels? He's really good. Oh, it's Anson Mount. And I was like, oh, what else was he in? IMDb. Oh, damn. Like we were in Hick like 12 years ago. Like what? It was just really, it was cool.
Yeah, dude, that's really cool. I've heard it's a good show, but I've never seen it.
Oh, bro. Like you want to talk about, how do I describe it? It's not maybe contrasting characters. No, contrasting conflicts. I've never seen a show with so much conflict interwoven, and it's because it's Civil War era. You've got the Civil War era. You've got the financial conflicts between upper class and railroad building class. You've got the all the stuff happening with the civil rights. There were no civil rights at that point, but everything with slavery and everything going on there. You've got the Native American situation. So all of that and women and how they were treated back then. So, dude, like the amount of
it covers so many different things. It sounds like,
dude, the amount of coverage on that, it's so effing real. Like it's just so real. It's unbelievable. Wow. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah, you got to check that out, man.
Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels. Yeah.
Hell on Wheels.
It's been. It finished out like years ago, but it was around the same time as like Breaking Bad. Like came out in the mid 2000s or later 2000s and ended kind of like 2013, 2014.
Yeah, I got this. So around the same time. Wow, that's cool.
And dude,
what else you got?
The set designs, because art department, the acting, everything, man. And AMC is like notorious, and that's what I love about Mad Men too. Even though I don't think it was on AMC, Mad Men's another one of those shows. Like if you like Breaking Bad, you'll really like Mad Men because it's very cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like this cookie cutter freaking you already know what's going to happen type of formatting and editing and all that. If you're going to do that, then something like that's like Trailer Park Boys or something like that's what really works. You know what I mean?
That is my show. I love that show. I also watched that a few months ago for my first time, and I know I'm pretty late on that.
Yeah.
But they have a new season. Their animated second season drops.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it drops on Netflix. So that's exciting. I love Trailer Park Boys.
The best moment, one of the best moments in the history of TV, in my opinion. And dude, like it's probably not that big of a deal, but the first time I saw that 6th episode in season 1, when they go and rob the grocery store, dude, I was screaming at the TV. It was so like I was literally screaming at the TV. That's how good it was. I had to watch that scene like 10 times over and over again. It was just you know, and like when he walks in, like just, you know, what are you doing? What are you taking all the bananas for? Like, who's gonna eat bananas at a wedding? Like all that, and then he comes in and they start shooting. Oh my god, it's just so.
Oh, oh my god, dude, I love that show, and it's so funny because right before this whole thing happened, Randy, he does this, like, he was doing this United States tour, and he was out west, and he was going to come out east, and he was going to be in Pennsylvania at one point. And me, my sister, and I don't know if you met my sister's boyfriend Frank. You might have met him at one of the poker nights.
Is he still were they dating then? Because if so,
I don't know, because I feel like when you came around for poker, she might have been dating James.
I think it was James.
Yeah,
yes, it was James. Was James like tall?
Yeah, maybe like 5'9", 5'10", I would say. That's my guess.
It was James, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember, but.
Yeah, but we were going to go see Randy together, and then he postponed his tour dates. That would have been freaking awesome. One of my good friends, his name is Dan. You might have met him at one of the poker nights.
Yeah,
but, his brother lives in California, and he saw Randy and said it was one of the funniest things he's ever seen.
I bet.
Yeah, and Frank, my sister's boyfriend now, they went to, when Mr. Leahy was alive, Randy and Leahy did a tour, and he went to go see them, and he said it was killer. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Obviously, unfortunately, Mr. Leahy isn't alive anymore.
Yeah.
But it would have been so cool to see that entire like cast just do like a stand up, or whatever. That would have been killer. That would have been awesome.
Oh yeah. Incredible show. Like just so hilarious. I mean, there's a couple of seasons that aren't as good as like some of the other ones, but like I said, that when I saw that scene, I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Oh yeah. It's so funny. There's another scene, maybe in like the 9th season or like 10th season, and I think Bubbles' cats get crabs. And so he goes to rob the pharmacy, and he gets all this like crab shampoo, and he's pointing the gun at the pharmacy lady, and he was like, "And I want some pills to make my penis bigger." He's obviously trying to say fetus, but obviously they give him penis hardening pills. It's like, oh my god. That was one of my favorite scenes in the whole show.
Dude, the Snoop Dogg episode is great too. I mean,
oh yes,
yeah.
That whole season's awesome when Snoop and like Tom Arnold and those guys are there. That was funny. That was really.
So
did you see any of the stand-up specials on Netflix? I think they have a few. They might have. They have one in Texas. They have one in the North Pole, quote unquote, and they have so many different things that they've done, which is insane. Because they have a season where they like go around the entire United States. They have a season where they go around Europe, and then they have the animated series too. So they're kicking ass. They're doing good.
Yeah. I'll have to check out the animated series, because I remember how like the last episode of the first series, went to animated when they were in jail. And I was like, oh wait, what? You know, because the drugs kicked in or something, and I was like, oh, that's like sequel bait right there. That's like just serious sequel bait. Yeah,
it was funny. That was a perfect way for them to start the first season. It was really good. I'm definitely excited to watch it.
Films at all, like real quick, like any that just like pop off that really influential for you?
Let's see. Wolf of Wall Street, because that got me. The Wolf of Wall Street, Boiler Room. Those got me through my sales days. my days of selling. I always wanted to feel like Leonardo DiCaprio walking into that room, just like empowering so many different people. But yeah, those two movies got me through my sales days. Dazed and Confused got me through high school. I love that movie. Matthew McConaughey. All right. I love it. I love it.
Dude, did you see what is it called? Damn, it's the one with Sarah Jessica Parker and him.
What's the name of it? Yes, I have.
You know what I'm talking about, and Bradley Cooper's in it.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper's in it. So the plot, I know the plot.
Yeah, I just saw this like a week ago, and I can't remember the name of it. Failure to Launch.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it.
That's it.
Dude, there's just
That's
there's
it.
some funny damn scenes in that, like with the all those dynamics with the characters, some hilarious stuff.
Yeah, they play off well together. That's awesome. I mean,
And I
you
think
gotta love the
Bradshaw
comeback.
is the dad, right? Like Tony Bradshaw. Or,
Yeah, Terry
yeah, it's just
Bradshaw's
like
the
he's
dad. Kathy Bates'
hilarious,
mom.
man. He's like the
Oh, he's
quintessential
so
dad.
He's so funny, and he's like butt naked in one of
Yeah,
the
the fish
scenes.
tank. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, that's so funny. And I love Kathy Bates too. She's awesome. I mean, I love her. I mean, I love her. In everything, but
she's
so funny.
fantastic.
Yeah, she's literally great in everything she does. But yeah, those are definitely some good ones. Well, what about you? What are your movies?
I mean, I'll say like recently. I mean, there's always the classic ones like Rocky.
Oh, of course.
Just like really, really like vanilla classic type movies that just stand the test of time.
Like the Die Hards, the Rambos, the Rockies. Like obviously those movies are.
I love the stuff where it was really in house at first, and then there was still a lot of creative control with whether it was Stallone or whoever. I became recently a really big fan of Tarantino.
Oh yeah, Tarantino's great.
Big deal, just like everybody else. The recent one?
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, I saw the Hateful Eight, and that's got to be one of my favorite films of all time. And I'm not saying it's the best, but for some, I think Pulp Fiction is honestly like it's a more classic film than Hateful Eight. Like it just is.
Yeah.
But Hateful Eight, like there were so many things about that film. I just had to keep watching it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's a good film.
They shot it on freaking like 2.76 ratio, like super wide screen.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, like 70 something millimeter film. It's bizarre. Like the biggest Panavision film they make.
Yeah, and they definitely did go with it. That's crazy. Another movie I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but I love The Departed. Obviously, The Departed is one of the best movies ever. Have you seen that?
Is that a Stephen King?
It's I don't know if it's
that?
Tarantino or I think it's Scorsese.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it's got to be Scorsese. I'm thinking it's got to be Scorsese or Tarantino. It's either Scorsese
I think it's
or
Scorsese.
Tarantino. Okay. But yeah, that's one of the best casts ever. Jack Nicholson, Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
Maybe I have seen this. What's the plot?
You probably did. It's okay, so there's a cop that obviously goes undercover. Jack Nicholson plays this big gang guy.
Yes, it's in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a crazy cast. Like, how the hell do you pay for that budget? Like that.
That budget must have been like $300 million or something like that. Some crazy.
It was like The Irishman.
Oh yeah, have you seen that?
Well, I was in it.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, like, dude, it was insane because it shot in like 2016, 2017, and it came out in 2019. So it came out for a long time.
Wow. What scene were you in? I'm gonna have to go look back and check that out.
The one where Pesci and De Niro are just talking like
in that restaurant.
The restaurant, and it's like that. All of them are very, very long scenes. I don't even know if you can see me. It was a last minute extra thing.
Well, that's cool, man.
I got the credit.
Cool
yeah.
You got the credit.
It was just a really like last minute extra thing, and
that's so
just
cool.
Yeah, just in that scene at one of the tables somewhere, lurking in the shadows.
Being in the room with those guys must have been just like wow.
Yeah, Pesci walked right in front of me, and really nice guy, and De Niro walked right in front of me as well. Like when they were going through the hallway.
That's so cool.
And Pesci's as short as.
Yeah, he's like 5 feet or like 4'11".
Yeah, he's like 5. I think he's like 5'2".
Yeah, he's definitely short.
De Niro was about the same height as me because I always thought he was like 5'9", 5'10", He was right at about 5'7".
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That's
that
so
was
cool.
an insane set. That was crazy. Like, it was. I don't even know where Scorsese was. I think he was like in another building, watching on monitors. Like nobody in the top end of the production crew was. It was just they were on another location, like watching in real time, almost.
Wow, that's insane. That set must have been insane.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, we were waiting for like 8 hours just to, you know how it is, like those really, really high end, like huge scenes where there's 100, 200. I mean, I got the call for that, or the text from the casting director, like a day before, 2 days before, and I was still in town. So I was like, yeah, why not?
Wow, that's so cool. It's like, why not? I'll be in the Irish.
Why not? So yeah, but it was great. What I don't know what we were talking about before that. As far as like movies, but what got us to The Irishman? There was another. Departed.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the budgets on those are just they're insane. But then you have like really, really like Dallas Buyers Club. I think it was like 22 mil or something, and it just cleaned up. So it's like the budget really has. I mean, you got to have enough to function, but at the end of the day, like you can make really good. That's what I love about filmmaking, is like amazing stuff with basically like dirt cheap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can have a really low budget, you can gross really high, which is so cool. And even some movies that put in all that money for the budget because of obviously location and wherever, like whatever they do, and it comes out to maybe even equal, be a little more than what they kind of put in for the movie, which is crazy.
Well, you and to answer your question, John Hughes. I'm a big John Hughes fan. So, planes, trains, and automobiles. Yeah. And I love John Candy. So it's
John Candy. I love John Candy.
Yeah. Yeah, all that like classic, Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club to me is probably top 3, top 5.
And that's another movie that probably had a really, really low budget.
1 mil, man. 1 mil, and it grossed like 60.
Wow, that's a return. That's
Stupid.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, definitely. That's definitely up there. That's such a classic, such a generational movie.
Yes,
it really is. Yeah, Emilio Estevez is so funny. Have you ever seen the? I love him. Have you seen the Mighty Duck movies?
Is he in? Does he play one of the voices, or is he in the movie?
No, he's in the movie. He's the coach. He plays the coach.
The hockey movie.
Yeah, the hockey movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's
Wait,
great.
he's the coach in that? Dude, I haven't seen it in years.
At least in 1, 2. I don't know if he's the coach in 3, but he's definitely the coach in 1 and 2. I haven't seen these movies in years, probably since I was like 10. But love Emilio Estevez. He's so funny. Yeah,
he's a trip, man.
Yeah, he really is. It's funny because every time I think of Emilio Estevez, I always think of Night at the Roxbury. Have you seen Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah.
We're like, Emilio! I always think of that. The Mighty Duck, man. I swear to God, it was. You should have been there. That's funny.
And don't underestimate these the Bill Murrays and the Will Ferrells. I mean, they are just.
Steve Carell's another good one. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, what about Bill Murray? Like that's like, to me, one of the just classic comedies.
He's just he's such a classic actor. He really is. And he's been in so many like really good different things, even playing like in not like such a like crazy like a high budget movie or anything like that, like Kingpin, for example. He plays the antagonist in the movie Kingpin, and he's so funny. Or I can't even think what his name is. What's his name in that movie? Big Earn. Yeah, have you seen that?
I haven't seen it.
What?
I gotta see it.
Yo, that's Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray, man. Check it out. It's on Netflix.
Oh my God.
Kingpin.
Oh, John Candy's in Stripes with him. I just realized that.
I don't know if I've seen that.
Oh, you got to see, dude. That's like a classic Bill Murray breakout movie. Well, technically, it came out after Caddyshack. But
Caddyshack. Oh man. That's
wait, did it come out after Caddyshack? I think Stripes came out in the 80s. Caddyshack was like 79 or 80. But yeah, no. Regardless, like early Bill Murray and John Candy. Like that was like John Candy's one of his like debut films. And he played the big, the big guy who was always yeah.
Of course. He's so funny. Yeah, I love him in Spaceballs, Uncle Buck. He's awesome.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, that's a classic movie. I wonder when Uncle Buck came out. That must have came out in like the 80s or something.
That was 89, I believe, because Kevin McCullen was, I think that's his name, right? The Home Alone kid.
Macaulay Culkin.
What the hell am I talking about? What the hell am I saying?
You were thinking of his name in the Home Alone, Kevin, whatever.
Oh, Kevin McAllister? Yeah.
Kevin McAllister.
Yeah. I think that came out in like 91, Home Alone. Yeah. So it was before that. That was like Uncle Buck was like his debut.
Yeah, Uncle Buck. Wow, that's a classic film. I always think of those giant pancakes.
Yeah,
like the pancakes with the shovel. Man, that's hilarious.
Did you ever get into like, well, for me, like Brando is huge. He is for pretty much anybody, but Brando stuff. Whether it was later in his career, earlier in his career, just incredible.
Yeah, he really is. He's great in The Godfather.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that those are classics right there. What's your favorite part of The Godfather?
Honestly, man, I love the opening scenes. Like the first couple of scenes in the first one, with the cat and
yeah. So number one would probably be your favorite, the first one?
I don't even think I've seen 2 and 3. I think I've just seen the first one. Yeah.
2 is really good. Really good. Because I don't remember if De Niro's in the first one, but I know he's in the second one. He killed it in the second one. Yeah.
Pacino's in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's in both.
I know I haven't seen 3, and I don't think I've seen 2.
Yeah. Definitely, my opinion, 2 is the best one. But
really?
3's pretty good. 3's pretty good, too. I'll have to rewatch it again because, I saw it a long time ago. But it definitely wasn't as good as the first 2. But it was a good way to kind of wrap up the franchise.
Right. I got to see 2. Well, I got to see the rest of it. I got to see 2 and 3.
Yeah. What about Goodfellas? What's your take on Goodfellas?
Dude, I don't even know if I've seen all of Goodfellas. I know the beginning scene with the trunk and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is Goodfellas the one with the really long, like 6-minute camera angle in the beginning? Like well, not 6, but it's like, I don't know, a minute or 2, but they walk into the club or the restaurant and it's like a real, it's like
I don't remember that
shot.
I don't remember that because I know that's on Netflix. I've been wanting to watch that again at some point.
I gotta see all of Goodfellas. Well, the speaking of Pesci, what is it? My cousin Vinny.
Oh my God, man, that's gonna go down as one of my favorite movies growing up.
Yeah,
even though I probably shouldn't have watched that movie at such a young age. I mean, I didn't care. F this, F that. That I love that movie, and Marissa Tomei, she's great in that movie too.
Now this is going to be a little bit of a veer, but did you ever watch what's it called? Dude, I'm like forgetting all these names because I haven't thought about this in a while. This is like really good conversation.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny to bring it back.
What is it? Dude, I have the ringtone on my phone. Like when people call me, it's still my ringtone from like years ago. It's a Jason Statham film.
Is it a recent Statham film?
No. It's like early. It's like mid 2000s. Oh my God. Why can't I remember the name of this? I got to Google this.
Yeah, it's a brain fart.
This is
I can't
crazy.
even think of it.
Dude, I see the whole I see like the poster, and this is like one of my favorite movies of all time. What is this?
Yeah, Statham's really good. Yeah, it's cool because him and The Rock have kind of veered off their little own Fast and Furious franchise. That movie was actually one of the better Fast and Furious movies that they've come out with, in my opinion.
It's Crank.
Oh, Crank! I've heard of Crank. I've never seen it though, but I've heard that movie is.
Crank is, in my opinion, for that style, and I don't know what type of style you would call it. I just don't. I've never seen anything more frantic and action-packed. It's obviously an action movie, but it's like beyond that. It's like that action comedy thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't know anything that tops that, because they shoot it at a really weird. It's not like a frame rate thing. It's a shutter speed. They do it at like this really jittery shutter speed. Like it's not 50 frames, like 24 frames per second, 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever rule that is. It's like up in 600 or 1,000 or 2,000. So it's like really, really jittery.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's frantic. You got to see that, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I can picture the angle of like with the camera jumping. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's I've never seen a film that grips you in like 90 seconds. Like you're hooked. Like I mean, they just hook you so quickly. It's great.
I gotta find that. Hopefully, it's on like Netflix or something like that.
There's a sequel too. There's a sequel, and it's pretty good. But the first one's like,
yeah, the first one's probably just classic.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. This was awesome. I'm happy we got to do this. This is really cool.
I've got to ask you. Well, we're gonna do this thing real quick here. It's called the shootout, and I have like 10 words. I'm just gonna say each word, and you just say the first word that comes to mind.
Oh,
like back at me.
Fun. All right.
And it's all industry related to whoever the guest is. So, camera,
angle,
lens,
crafter.
Black and white.
80s. Oh man, that's terrible. No. All right. We'll move on.
That's
I don't know why I saw 80s.
Live. Studio is actually the next one.
Yeah. That's fun.
That's why I like doing this.
You probably get some ridiculous answers.
Oh, dude, I've gotten some crazy answers. Yeah.
All right. Studio. Audience.
Light.
Camera.
Pre-production.
Pain in the ass. Pre-production pain in the ass for me.
And you're welcome to use it again for post-production, which is the next one.
Not as bad. A little easier.
Okay.
Love post-production. That's funny.
I'm kind of the same way. With that. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Set.
Oh, time.
All right, the most important. Well, actually, I'm going to add another one at the end. Hold on. So this is there's two other ones. All right, pizza.
Pepperoni.
Poker.
Table.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, I have one more. This has never been a double add-on. But because we got to roll with the P's. Perkins.
Wait. Say the last word. I didn't hear it.
Perkins.
Trans 12. That was just for you, buddy. That was just for you. You were one of the So you were one of the few people that I could see literally engulf. Okay, so for those people who do not know what the Tremendous 12 is, it's a massive breakfast. It's a massive breakfast. Two normal people can probably eat this and be completely full. So it's 3 eggs. You get 4 pieces of meat, bacon, or sausage, and you get this whole serving of potatoes. You get 4 pancakes. This guy right here, Jason Damico, woofs it down every single time without like like without even a blink. I don't know how the hell you do it, man.
Oh,
I don't know how you put it.
Dude, those Perkins, like, oh, those days of Perkins, man.
Oh,
Those are
man.
like fondest memories. Just eating, like talking film
Me
with
too,
you
man.
and
That's
freaking
when things
eating
are
a
easy.
tremendous 12.
Yeah. Oh man.
Ugh.
Yeah, your family would come in on Sundays here and there. That was awesome. Your family was killer. Your family was great.
I've got one more question for you, and then
All right, hit me.
we'll be done. I ask this to everybody, which is if you could go back in time to your 15-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what would you tell them?
Just be patient. Really just like look at all your options and really take life a little more seriously now. Don't party as much as you are, because I partied a ton when I was 15. I definitely partied a ton when I was 15. And also, that was a big year wrestling for me when I was 15, and I lost like 20-something pounds in a short amount of time during one season to make weight for my weight class. So I would have told myself, just bulk up. Don't cut weight. It's probably the worst thing you could do. And it still affects my eating to this day. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny because I can go days where I'll eat maybe like once a day, maybe like 2 little meals a day. But then some days where I'll eat like a shit ton. That doesn't happen too much. It's like, yeah, man, because if you're like working your stomach in so many different ways and you're not used to having, if you've gone through periods of times where you don't have, like, your stomach isn't able to flex with like food or drinks or whatever, it goes through such a small state. And like if you eat something or you drink something, it's like you feel like your stomach's about to explode. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
They tried recruiting me as a freshman in high school because I was apparently, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember I don't know much about wrestling at all, but dude, I had like every coach trying to recruit my ass.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
Because at the time I was 5 as a freshman, I was maybe 5'5" and 140. I don't know if that's like that perfect range, like where you don't have to drop weight, you don't really have to add whatever it was.
No, you would have definitely been at a good place at 140 for sure. Around that time.
Yeah,
because I'm sure you still had some muscle as well, and a lot of the 140 pounders that I've seen were either like kind of like a little like wider as opposed to stocky. So I mean, you would either get your one or the other, and that was probably the ideal way to be as a 140. You want to be like really strong, obviously.
Well,
me, I was always I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're
good. I was always one of the shorter but stronger people in my weight class because I was always the one cutting weight. Right. So I would be maybe a little bit stronger than everybody, but then it got to a point where I did not care about cutting weight. I cut my weight and I was like, I'm not cutting weight anymore. This is my senior year. I did not give 2 craps my senior year. I literally wrestled at 120, maybe cut like 10 pounds, which was literally nothing for me. I would cut that in like 2 days and kind of maintain that weight as time went on. And I was a short 120 pounder. I was a short 120 pounder.
Dude, how the hell do you cut? Like, what? I mean, what is that? You're just jogging for hours on end with all the sweats?
Yeah, I mean, tons of exercise. I would run a few times a day. I would, even other than running, just like live wrestling with somebody is probably one of the best workouts anybody can ever get. Just like rolling around for like 2 minutes with somebody, just like fast paced and like sweating and stuff like that. It's like definitely one of the best workouts ever. And I was really bad at this. I didn't have a good eating routine at all then. Like I would be like, okay, I'm not going to eat really much for the next few days so I can make weight for this tournament, rather than portion control or anything like that, which obviously I'm hoping that I'm more intelligent now than I was back when I was 15 years old. I'd be like, all right, so obviously just eat healthy and make sure you're eating a lot of protein. But yeah, man, back then there was like dehydration out the wazoo, not eat like 2 days. Crazy, man. And you would have to take a hydration test to certify for a certain weight. And there would be a lot of times where a lot of people would cut to a weight below what they're supposed to certify for. So they would actually cheat on their hydration tests to actually be able to wrestle at that weight. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a whole like science and everything behind it. I did it once and I almost got caught, and I didn't get caught, but I never did it again after that. I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it cutting weight. I'll just be a little smarter with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it ended up being better for me because I was pretty good.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, the wrestling days, I mean, it still takes a toll on me now. It really does.
Wow.
Yeah. It really does, man. But you would have been a good wrestler. I see it. I see the build in you. What do you weigh now? You probably weigh about 180.
No.
I'm guessing.
No. 160.
160?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing, man, is like I was 180 at one point, and I looked like shit, man. It was like you got a pictures of me when I was like 20. So this was actually, when was this? This was right before I moved to New York, when we were doing like the poker stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Because
you were stocked.
At that point, then I was like 167, 168, and I was like, dude, I was beefed.
Yeah.
But I wasn't as strong as I am now, and now I'm only like 158, 160. I go back at pictures of myself from like when that era, like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell, man? Like, what? Dude, I had some size. But the crazy thing is like my arms are still kind of the same size, but things just got a little bit trimmer. And for me on camera, it's a lot better. Like once you get above 162 for me at 5'7", it's like, forget about it.
Yeah,
So,
no, I feel.
Yeah, so it's like honestly 158, 160, but I was 180 at one point when I was really trying to like build.
Yeah.
And it was just all like, it was just weird, man. It just wasn't, it didn't work.
It didn't look right, huh?
Well, I was able to make it into some muscle, but it took a couple of years.
Yeah, no, it's definitely tough. I mean, are you still able to kind of work out and keep in shape as often as you would like go to the gym and stuff like that?
I'm maintaining.
Yeah.
I miss the gym dearly. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm so like whacked out. Like and I think a lot of people are kind of the same way. Like there's things that are just off. Like,
yeah.
My mood is just more fluctuating than usual. And I think it's honestly because that routine of, just lifting heavy weight 3 to 4 times a week, it's like my lifeline, man. So now I don't have the heavy weight because the gyms are closed. So, you do what you can. And, but no, it definitely regulates like that. That's the biggest thing that I miss is like the regulation. It really sets your body.
Oh yeah. And your body's in a routine. Cause I'm sure you went like very like often as far as like daily or like however many times a week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And once you get out of that, I feel like it's like it takes everybody out of whack. It's like with everything.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't really thought about it, but just you saying that, like, because I mean, it's been months now since. I mean, I'm working out, but it's not like my workout. Like my workout is, there's some weight in there, and yeah, I mean, like I miss, like I haven't even thought about this. Like that's crazy. Like it's been 2 months.
Yeah, wow, that's insane. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy.
Dude,
crazy
this was awesome, man. I'm really this is great. Getting to hang and keep me updated on the poker thing. I probably can't do it tonight, but
wait,
what you guys get it going?
Wow, it's 7:20. Jeez.
Yeah,
we've been going at it, man.
Yeah, we've been going at it, man.
Hey, time flies when you're having fun. This is awesome, man. Thank you for having me. It was awesome to catch up.
You too, man. Thanks for coming on. You guys have been watching and listening to the Jason Damico show. If you've stuck around for the entirety of this, congratulations. Subscribe, like, share. We'll have some of Ryan's social media in the description box below or to the sides. and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.